let's move it on to one of the bigger stories that broke yesterday. We're talking about Max Scherzer, the Mets' only ace right now. I mean, every other pitcher's pitching well, but he's clearly the guy. With DeGrom on the shelf, he now exits with a side injury. They're calling it oblique. They're calling it lower back. Whatever the case may be, he's got himself an MRI scheduled to go down. And also within the same breath, Tierney of WFAN brought up the fact that he thinks that the Mets fans need to prepare for the possibility that they'll not see DeGrom this year, the rest of the way. Yeah. What are the Mets going to do right now? Right now, there's 6 games up in first place. They're still 10 games over 500, right? They had himself a great start to the year. But if Mad Max goes out for an extended period of time, which, again, oblique stuff, when you're a pitcher and you're a guy like Mad Max who's throwing this ball as hard as humanly possible, this could be a 10-day IL thing. This could be a lingering thing. What are the Mets going to do? Because they're not the only two. DeGrom and Scherzer are not the only two hurt. What's this guy got hurt too?
Tyler McGill is injured right now with a bicep strain.
They're lost right now.
Whenever you hear the word strain, it could be determined. The seriousness is up to you. What you want to make of it. A strain is just another word to say like a tear, or there's a bunch of different ways that could go as far as the injury. I think Tyler McGill will be back within the end of the month, by the end of the month, or at least middle of June. Bassett's still pitching like an ace. So they have that to like kind of right the ship every 5th day. Taijuan Walker's been up and down. Carrasco's been pitching really good. So when you look at who they still have, it could be worse. You know, the Mets are not, it's not all lost. They do have a big lead. And the Scherzer thing, listening to him talk, he's saying like, I hope I avoided major injury by coming out. So he kind of knows, like, he's like, it doesn't feel good now.
He's the kind of guy that's going to tell you.
Max had back spasms like last year. It's an issue that he's probably dealt with before. And they're saying side, he's saying it's more like a spasm. I guess we'll find out when the MRI comes out. But if the Mets kind of hush on the way this injury plays out, if they're like, oh, you know, the MRI doesn't show much, we'll determine in another week he can't throw for a month, and then we'll reevaluate. Then you could expect Scherzer to be out for a while, because that's how they handled DeGrom last year.
Well, with the whole baseball activity thing, like can't
do
resume
anything. Baseball, but.
It's interesting.
As of now, it could just be a missed one start. He might even start his next start. We have no idea. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse and expect and just say the Mets season is going to be headed downhill. The DeGrom thing, I tried to look for any type of reasoning behind him saying that. I didn't see any news, but he might have an inside source. I doubt it. He's a radio host, so he's looking for probably just a little headline. Mm-hmm. And the timing of it couldn't have worked out better, because now with the Scherzer,
he said it literally the day before Scherzer gets hurt.
It's like, holy shit, now everything is coming down on you. I'm sure Buck Showalter is just fine right now. They're going to be fine, I think.
Let me read you their next couple of series they have, okay? Because they have today is their last game against the Cardinals,
which they already won this series.
So they have,
I think.
No, well, they split.
But then they won last night.
Yeah, so they're
so they could go rubber.
One, and then,
okay, it could go rubber. Okay.
So they have the Rockies for 3 games, which is, okay. Then they get the Giants for 3, the Phillies for 3, the Nationals, the Dodgers for 3, then the Padres, then the Angels. So it's a rough month.
And that's a West Coast trip, obviously.
It's a rough month and a half for the Mets.
Right now, like I said, great start. I know all the Mets fans are excited about this stuff, and nobody roots for injuries around here, right? But like the fact that I don't know if Scherzer is even a little hurt and they think they have a shot to legitimately contend for the pennant this year, they will shut him down for a little while.
As they should.
As I'm saying, if they think that they can make a run.
I think the Mets division isn't that great, and the National League as a whole this year is a little bit down. Maybe out west they're all good again, but I just don't see the Mets not being able to at least maintain well enough to enter the postseason. And if they get both their pitchers back and they have Bassett, that pitching staff, get them there and there's a shot. We could all agree on that.
Obviously.
So yes. They understand that. Buck Showalter knows that more than anybody. I'm sure Max knows that more than anybody. They all want to pitch. They all want to play, but I'm not going to – I think the Mets are a really good team, and their lineup is still really good. They're not really dealing with many injuries to the bats, so that's good. Their lineup could probably hold them.
Lindor's got a hit, though.
And they've actually have like an adequate bullpen for the first time in my life. I think the Mets will be fine. Buck Showalter's the perfect guy for the job to right this ship.
I think it's a good thing. Too many years we've seen teams burn their starters out early. I love to see Scherzer and DeGrom with the first rounds in August.
Yeah,
I
that's what
agree.
I'm saying. If you think you got the tools to last till August to be in striking distance, and I'm not even talking about first place. Like, let's just say in August you guys are 3 games out with both of these guys coming back.
Let's not
I give the edge to the
disguise
Mets.
this as a good thing, though. There's no such thing
No,
as a
no,
good
of course
injury,
not.
especially with an oblique, because something like that could linger all year. Even if they think he's right and he thinks he's good to go, and then you go 100% for the first time and you're not, it's not a good thing. But silver lining, as far as silver linings go, I've been saying this about Severino for 4 years. Like, oh, well, it's good that he's hurt to start the season because then we get him fresh. That's just what I say to try and make it sound better.
Easing
It's
the
not
blow.
better.
I mean, how did you guys feel yesterday when you seen him throw? I mean, obviously when you see him throw the pitch and right away,
I
turns
saw
and
it
says,
live.
"Get
I
me
saw
out
it in real
right now."
First
time.
of all,
And
can't miss TV. Anything Mad Max is doing on the mound.
Right.
I fucking love watching that
Up
guy.
He's
6-2.
an absolute animal. I saw him come out live, and I was like, and obviously no volume on, so I can't. There's no context, and I'm like, well, there's no reason for him to be coming out right now. You know what I mean? Outside, and then you see the big group around the mountain. I was like, oh my god! Like, tell me something's wrong with Max. Like, this is bad news. But again, you said it before. I agree with it. The Mets are definitely equipped to weather this storm. We said they were going to be equipped to weather the storm of no DeGrom. Now let's see if they can weather the storm if they lose now Max Scherzer
Like,
for a couple
around,
times.
if you look
for a
around the
couple starts.
National League and teams that are competitive, and you look at Bassett, Carrasco, and Taijuan Walker as the 1, 2, 3 right now, that's an adequate 1, 2, 3. As far as like most Major League Baseball,
especially in the
teams go.
division that they're in.
Comparable to what they're putting out there with Scherzer and DeGrom, obviously that makes, but that's what makes the Mets scary is that they're 3, 4, 5. Any one of them could pitch like an ace on any given
How
day.
do you think about this? Kyle just made this take. I really don't care. I personally think starting pitchers should take a month or 2 off early in the year anyway. MLB needs to take a page out of the NBA load management book. That shit works.
Here's the thing.
Well, they are.
Baseball.
They do.
They do. With baseball, because it's actually the Michael K show does rest roulette every day around when the lineups come out. Like, who's winning rest roulette today? Like, which guy is going to get the day off? This is happening within baseball already. It's just not as polarized as the NBA because look, in the NBA, there's 5 starters, 12 dudes on a team. You'll know when somebody's out. When somebody like a second baseman of a team misses a couple games because of a hamstring tweak, you're not going to really notice that right away. There's 9 guys in the field, 40 guys on the roster. You know what I mean? Like it falls under the radar a little bit, but this is already happening. Load management. There's 162 games in a season.
Just to be
they
clear,
need to take some rest.
Just to be clear, I don't know that there'll ever be another 300 game winner ever in baseball. Ever. Look at the guys now. I think Verlander's got the best shot at it. Right?
Is he actually in striking distance? Because he's probably going to need. Well, I don't know how many. I'll look that up because unless you want to do it.
So, like,
find out.
If we're looking
Verlander's
the way Major League Baseball has been trending over the last century, my entire life, it was back in the day they threw every 3, and now they throw every 5 days.
Now every day.
Now there's 6-man rotations, but it's like a starter, but it's an opener. They're doing a bunch of modifications to how they're using these guys.
Don't get me started with it.
Yes.
Pitch counts are at an all-time low.
231 wins.
Oof, that's a long ways away, bro.
Yeah, and he's the all-time active leader.
I
right?
believe so. I believe it's a 230. Even if he has like gems of season where he gets 20 wins, that you're looking at another 3 years, and that's pitching perfectly.
And it feels like he's been pitching forever,
right?
And been very good forever.
Yeah.
So
Kyle says if he was a manager, he would run a 7-man starting rotation for the first 3 months. 7-man. That's a lot, but I get it. I get the logic. I totally get the logic.
Every fan would hate you, and baseball would get worse because of it. But like your team would be better.
So
100%.
Verlander's first, 231. You got Greinke next with 219.
I'm on point.
Scherzer 195. Kershaw 189.
Scherzer, what was it? 195.
And all these guys, you could all agree that they're on the back 9. Or
Yeah.
even in some
I was
cases,
just gonna say Scherzer
like
has
on
no
the back
shot.
3.
Then you get
Final
Adam
3.
Wainwright is 188, and then it kind of drops. David Price 155. Then
David
it drops
Price.
again. Johnny Cueto 135.
Now, if
David
you're looking
Price.
at some young pitchers right now, it's almost impossible to prognosticate like who's going to last as long as a guy like a Verlander did. But you get guys like DeGrom's already in his 30s.
It's
I don't
crazy.
even know if he doesn't even have 75 wins yet, probably, because he pitched for the Mets.
Yeah, he's had 77.
It's when they couldn't score. What did you say? 75.
77.
That's
He's
pretty
got 77.
good at this,
That's
right?
pretty fucking spot on.
And then you got guys like Walker Buehler, who's very young. He's been pitching for now his 3rd season, and he looks like he has the stuff. But
again, in
he's gotta
today's
pitch 20 years.
in today's
He's got 45 wins.
in today's
Walker
game,
Buehler?
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. He's 23.
He's ranked 83rd out of.
but I'm saying like in today's game, he's more than likely to be taken out
yeah.
with a perfect fucking game going at this point because of an early pitch count or some shit. you're right, man. The days of racking up these wins are going to be few and far between.